Are you planning to go into research nursing and you're sort of confused about what it's actually about? You're not sure if it will be a right place for you. You're not sure about the things you meet in there. Well, do not be concerned and do not be worried, because in this video I have invited a guest who has worked as a research nurse before, and she will be telling us all about research nursing in the UK. So make sure to watch this video up until the very end. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we have a special guest with us known as the Niger girl. She has worked as a nurse both in Nigeria and in the UK, so she'll be telling us all about research nursing. Welcome to the channel, ma. Can we do you?
Yeah, my name is Victoria. I am a Nigerian UK nurse. I'm female. Yeah, that's it. That's me. Sorry, I'm bad at that. I'm trying to get that.
Anyway, no problem. I'm sure a lot of my viewers will have seen your channel before, but for those who haven't, she is also a YouTuber here, blessing us with informative videos. Your videos were really helpful in my processing to the UK, and also you guys can check her channel as well. If you can just briefly tell us like how long it has been in the UK, you have been in the UK, and just a bit of backstory.
Right. So I came into the UK in August of 2019. So I guess it's 4 years plus now. Yeah. I came in as a care home nurse. Like I came in to work in a care home, and I've changed a lot of jobs since then. It's been cool. There's been a lot of challenges, of course, but yeah, here we are.
Today we want to learn about research nursing, and if you can tell us like who is a research nurse, like what is the job specification of a research nurse?
So research nursing is an aspect of nursing which deals with putting together information about particular diseases, or it might not just be diseases or infections, or it can be about equipment or any other thing, basically getting data that is needed for improvement in healthcare. So research nurses, they play a very significant role in research, and as you know already, research, like the world is getting better because of research. Like if there's no research, then we will still be in the 90s, we won't be moving forward. So research is helping getting nursing, healthcare generally to move forward, and research nurses are at the core of that. So basically, research nurses do a lot of things, from interacting with the patients. Like we know, if you're a nurse, you already know that you are like the most closest person to the patient, on a normal healthcare settings level. It starts from when the research is at the early stages. So you've got meetings about what the research will be about. Different professionals come together, give different ideas about, okay, so what is happening, what is going on, what do we want to see, what kind of data are we looking at, should we do this, should we not do that. So nurses participate in that also. And also when we decide that, okay, these are the kind of people that we want in this research, but it is the nurses that reach out to the patients, because they might not even be patients. I've participated in researches before as a client, not as a patient. It's not like I was admitted or I am a known patient of that particular department. But what I'm just trying to say is that you don't need to be a patient in the hospital to participate in research. So a research can be just for Black African females between the age of this and this who has had malaria before. It doesn't mean that you have an active malaria or you're a patient of that hospital, but still you can participate in the research. So like I said, also the researches are not only for infections or for diseases, or it can just be for equipment, it can be for other things apart from diseases and all that. So the research nurse reaches out to people to explain, this is what the research is about, will you be interested? It's actually one of the things that I did not really like doing when I first started as a research nurse, but as time went on, I actually enjoyed doing it, like reaching out to people and being the first person to let them know that, especially when it comes to diseases and diagnosis, and then people kind of have an inch of hope that, so there might actually be a solution to this thing. Of course, you're not
Mm.
telling them there's a solution yet, like letting them know that there is a possibility of a solution if we do this. So will you be interested in doing this? So it might be treatment kind of research, for some people that have some kind of diseases, and you want to test, is this particular medication better than this particular medication? So you want to know which one is better. And sometimes it might just be a brand new medication in that field, that you just want to see its impact and its effect on a particular disease. So you reach out to people, let them know what the research is about, and then they agree straight away. Sometimes some people say no straight away. Sometimes some people say, okay, I'll think about it and I'll get back to you. So there's a kind of follow-up that goes on also. So there's a lot of skills that you need to have, or that you pick up as you go on as a research nurse. And communication skill is one very important skill. Say they agree to it, they come in, let's say it's a treatment research, they come in, basic things that you do as a nurse, you check their vitals, make sure that they are stable, they are okay to go ahead with the treatment, monitor the treatment, or if it's just an injection, give it to them. After that, you follow up. Sometimes they come in more than once. Most of the research is it's not just a one-off things. It might be every 2 weeks they will come in, or every 4 weeks, or and sometimes also they need to do blood tests, you get blood and all that. And working in the research department it gave me the opportunity actually to also work in a lab. And I used to say that's the first time I will actually ever work in a lab. Like work in a lab and feel confident and be like, wow, like spinning and all that, and you'll be like, oh wow, this is interesting. So there are really a lot of interesting things about research. And for me, I am someone who does not really have the aim of staying in one place or in one nursing specialty and be aiming for matron and I just want to explore. I want to see different parts of nursing, different aspects of nursing, and yeah, so a lot of interesting things about research nursing, basically, and I think that's just a small tip out of it.
So for the aspect where you said they go out, is it like they go to homes, or like patients in the hospital, they go and meet them? Like how do they do that going out?
It can happen. It has happened before that
Mhm.
you go to a patient's house, probably to get samples, maybe if they cannot come, and it is more cost effective for you to go there than for an ambulance transport to be arranged for them. And then maybe to prevent, to give less stress to the participants. So,
Uh,
yes, there are times like that when you can go. And even apart from working in the NHS, so as a research nurse, there are a lot of opportunities for you. In fact, outside of the NHS, you can work with private companies, and these private companies, I haven't worked with one before, but from what I have seen, you actually go to people's house, to get, sometimes you fill questionnaires, take blood sample, administer medication or injection or whatever it is. You can get to a part of that role where you are needed to go to the participant's house.
okay. So that means driving would be an additional benefit for such person.
Yes, definitely. Yes, yes.
Um, so for those of us that are probably planning to go into research nursing, like how was the application process like? Do we need a special certification or something?
I don't think you need a special certification. I think my own case was actually very different because that was the first time I've been working in the NHS and I just came in as a research nurse. So what happened was I applied to the NHS. I just applied as a staff nurse, a general nurse. Yeah, after the interview, or even before, during the interview, they had given us a form with different specialties for us to pick which specialty, like pick three specialties you are interested in. And funny enough, research wasn't even part of the things that I put down before. That was because I had applied as a research nurse before, to some of these hospitals and outrightly got, unfortunately, is like they just were not interested in getting, in employing me as a research nurse. So when I applied for this NHS Band 5 nursing role, I did not put research there at all because I had felt, I don't think they are going to like accept me. So I filled in other specialties. However, those other specialties were already filled up, so they don't have space for me. Now they called me and they were now giving me different options. And then they mentioned research, and I was like, that's the one.
Oh,
That's the one that I want.
wow.
So that was how I got into it. But for others, from what I have noticed, what I've seen, sometimes if you want to get into research as a band 5 nurse, that's the way to get into it. Like when they give you the form, fill it in that you actually want to be in the research department. Because when they actually advertise for the position of a research nurse, except they state that it is for band 5 and you don't need experience, then maybe you can go ahead. But most of the times they are looking for band 6. They're looking for people with experience and all that. It might not be band 6 in research itself, that you have been in band 6 in research itself, but because there are different aspects of research nursing also. So for me, I was a aging research nurse. I did other things also because it was like I was on rotation. I did respiratory, I did I think I did gastro also, research nursing. So for every specialty in nursing, there's a research arm. There are research nurses for those specialties. So say you are an oncology nurse,
Mm.
you've been an oncology nurse for like 6 months, and there's a position opening for an oncology research nurse, even if it's band 6. But the fact that you have experience in oncology, you are working in oncology, it gives you a edge ahead of others.
Oh.
So when you are looking for a research job, a research nursing job in the NHS, it is good that you have a good idea of that particular specialty before you apply. But even
So
if you don't let that deter you. Don't let that discourage you. Like I said, I did not even I didn't think I would be a research nurse, and it
mm.
just came.
But then they don't like take people directly from outside the country, do they?
It's possible. Never say never.
Yes.
Really, serious. It's possible. It's possible.
So, what would you say are the benefits and the disadvantage of this research nursing? And then, how is the shift like? Is it like a Monday to Friday stuff, or they do shifts?
Okay, so let me start from the last one. So for research nurses, it's just weekdays, no weekends and no nights. There are exceptions because there are some kind of researches that involves, they take more manpower, they take more time, and then it depends on the time limits also. For different researches, there are time limit. They may say, oh, this particular research, we will be running it over 5 years, so we have time. This particular research, like take the COVID era as an example, we did not have luxury of time at that
Mm.
time, at the COVID period. Every research that is being done, of course, it will be done ethically. At the same time, we don't have, people are dying, so we don't have a lot of time to say, oh, we can do it at any pace that we want. So at that point, I wasn't a research nurse at that time, But I could imagine that people are putting in a lot more work than they normally would. So I can imagine that there will be Saturdays and even sometimes Sunday shifts, for researches about COVID at that time. And even when I
Mm.
was a research nurse, there were some other researches that involved people coming in on a Saturday, but it is not so common. So usually it's Monday to Friday and 8 to 5. And there is like you can liaise with your manager and say, oh, I want to be coming only 4 days in a week, for example.
Oh,
So
okay,
instead
like
of doing
flexibility.
yeah, so instead of doing 8 to 5 Monday to Friday, okay, can I do 7 to 6 Monday to Thursdays? So yeah, that flexibility is there, but it depends on the discretion of your manager. So, and
So,
what's your second
yeah,
question?
the pros and cons.
Research is an interesting specialty. It is very, very, very interesting. I'm still exploring different aspects of nursing, but if I want to go back to the NHS, research nursing is top on my list right now. It is interesting. You get to see a lot. You get to meet with different people. I mean, you're meeting with different MDTs is just on another level. You get to try out different things also, like the lab thing that I talked about. You get to have an idea of what's going on in different specialties also, especially if you are roaming like me, like you are not just stable in one nursing research role. So you get to see a lot of things. You get to be part of decision makers for an upcoming medication or an upcoming instrument. You get to be part of the people who say, oh yes, I think this is what we should do, this is better than this. People trust you with their data. It's just an interesting specialty. That's the pros. And another pro also is that okay, the work life balance. It depends. That work life balance. It depends on you. Like for me, one of the reasons why I left was because I was getting overwhelmed with the timing. So I do Monday to Friday, or I did Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And once I come back, like I just eat. I did not have much time on my hand to do any other thing. And I'm just not a one person girl. I like to do different
Mm.
things. So I'm not able to do other things that I want to do. And like I said, it depends on the manager that you have. For example, if I had had the opportunity to work like 3 days or 4 days a week, even if it meant me closing at 7 p.m., and I know that I have these 2 days or one day left for me, in addition to weekends, because weekends for me is not an available time. It's like it's packed up already, so I can't really do what I really want to do. So if I had that opportunity, maybe, just maybe, I would still be in research nursing. So it depends on individuals. If you feel like, sometimes it takes people to try it to know.
Mm.
So yeah, to know. So if you think you want to check out what the 8 to 5 life is like, yeah, you can. It is, if it is what you want, if it is what you want to try, yeah, definitely. But for me, after I think I did it for 14 months, and I was like, maybe next time I want to leave now. I wouldn't know if that would be a pro or a con. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Another con is the pay. Now, because you are working day shifts, you're not working nights, and you're not working weekends, your pay is relatively low compared to your contemporaries on the ward. Now, because for NHS, the pay, there's a pay, is it pay advancement? Abi, what they call it? There's a pay increase, for when you work nights and
Yeah.
for work weekends. So now that you have a job that you're not working nights or weekend, what will you do? Except maybe you get agency shifts and you know to augment, but if not, your pay you see a pay cut, sha. You see a pay cut.
And the pay rate is like the same with the other people in the world.
Yes, it's the same. It's the same rate. It's the same rate. Like if you're on band 5 level 1 and there's another nurse on orthopedic ward, band 5 level 1, we are getting the same pay rate. But at the end of the month, your pay will not be the same because she will probably have done nights and weekends
On
while you are
weekend.
done day shift only and weekdays only. Your pay might be like half of our own.
Oh, yeah. That's that's already discouraging. So, do you have any advice for nurses watching or those who are planning to move to the UK anytime soon?
Whatever you set your heart to do, you can do it. So keep pushing. You might have failed many times, failed IELTS, failed CBT, search for jobs and you haven't found. Just keep at it. Don't give up. Get information. It's important to get, and while getting information, get the right information. So
Mm.
information and the people you listen to is very important because a lot of people has been misled just because they're not getting the right information. Apart from you watching YouTube videos, go on that's one thing that I love about the UK. Like anything that you want to know about whatever you want to know, go online and check. Go online and check. Go on reputable, website for that particular organization or that particular company, or just go to the official site and you get the information that you need. So even though you are watching videos, you are trying to get information somewhere else, let it only be a confirmation of what you have read, what you have seen on the official site for yourself, and not just that you are being misled by somebody else. Yeah, so basically get the right information and just believe you can. Don't give up, and yeah, we are expecting you.
Thank you very much for coming to the channel.
No
So,
problem.
this brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.